Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 7 of Cookie Bites here at Girl Scouts of Silver Sage. My name is Kim Ross, and I'm joined here with Kim Husin. She's Kim 2.0, the upgrade. And we are talking today about customer service. Let's take a quick look at the agenda for today. That's on our next slide. And so we're going to talk a little bit about people skills and business ethics, which are important parts of customer service, setting customer expectations, and of course, meeting or beating them. We'll talk also about the effect that pre-orders have on what customers expect. Talk about the importance of delivering your cookies and or fall product as soon as you can. And then how to answer questions at a cookie booth or when you're going door to door. I am going to have Kim take on the next couple of slides. Kim, on to you.
All right. So as we've mentioned a few times, the entrepreneurship programs, the cookie program and the fall product program, they help girls build different skills. Two of these skills are very relevant to customer service. They are your people skills and your business ethics. People skills are skills that are used when communicating and interacting with other people. They include active listening and patience, persuasion or negotiation, empathy and gratitude, etiquette, politeness, kindness, honesty. A few of those things you might remember from our Girl Scout promise and law. Nonverbal communication and interpretation. So being able to see on somebody's face that they're upset about something and knowing that they're upset and how to communicate a way around it or to empathize with them, saying, oh, I understand you're upset about something. Let's try to come to a reason as to why that is. They also include leadership and teamwork, conflict resolution, and problem solving. And then business ethics are very similar, but they're also slightly different. These are the principles that shape or guide how places and people do business. So these things also might sound similar to some of those people skills. They are fairness, respect, honesty, accountability, loyalty, integrity, the golden rule of treating people how you want to be treated, and then the platinum rule, which is listening to how others want to be treated. A lot of these skills actually came directly from articles from Indeed, where it's, how to find jobs and things like that. So these are skills that businesses are looking for in people that they are hiring. Yeah, was there anything you wanted to add on any of these skills?
I agree with you. First, thanks for asking. I agree with you that many of these are in the Girl Scout Promise and Law. So not just speaking them, but also really putting them in the core of what you do and how you act at a cookie booth. And this goes for the adults too, right? The adults, those who are registered volunteers, they also say the Girl Scout Promise and Law and really should be treating every Girl Scout as a sister Girl Scout and not maliciously competing for customers or for cookie booth slots, because we do, and you saw here, we did call out teamwork. We really do all win when we work together. And I think that's part of something that girls should learn as a business skill. You and I work together, and you and I, Kim, work with all of the other departments here at our Girl Scout Council. And we also work with other Girl Scout councils and JSUSA. And so to me, teamwork and working together, even teaming up with your customers when we see the golden rule and the platinum rule, making sure that, not only are we respecting them enough to treat them the way we would want to be treated, but if we have the opportunity, let's find out how they want to be treated. It might be that they'd prefer to pick up their cookies than have it delivered to them because they don't want to wait another day till you are able to deliver or what have you. So just making sure that you're communicating, which I think is the bottom line to all of this, communicate and just make sure you're able to be honest and fair and respectful and get the job done and make sure everyone has a great experience.
Agreed. All right. So in part of that is setting expectations with your customers. So the The biggest one here is making sure you set that expectation for when cookies are being delivered. If a customer is ordering in that first week of cookie sales at the beginning of January, let them know, hey, cookies are not going to be in hand to be delivered until after President's Day or February 19th, 20th-ish. If otherwise they're used to businesses like Amazon that can deliver a product in 1 to 2 days. Sometimes it's like the next morning if they're ordering it at 6 p.m. Like the Amazon gets to you real fast, and people have gotten used to this, and they kind of forget that sometimes we do pre-order things, or sometimes things can take a little while to ship from another country or another state. And they have to go through different processes. And it's not necessarily that our cookies are shipping from a different country. It's that, that just that delivery time is going to take longer than Amazon. So making sure that your customers know and understand that upfront is critical to making that the customer have a positive experience with you. Additionally, occasionally cookie customers of yours will contact customer care about an undelivered order. If this happens before cookies are in hand, our answer is simply the Girl Scouts don't have cookies until approximately this date. Give them a little bit more time. Your orders will get delivered, as soon as they're able. If this is after cookies are in hand, so anytime after that President's Day weekend, we do contact the caregivers and leaders first, because the leaders should have provided these cookies to the caregiver, and the caregiver and the Girl Scouts should be coming up with a way to deliver those orders. The customers are also reminded very kindly that Girl Scouts are students. They are in school Monday through Friday, most of them. And that they might also have some extracurricular activities. They might need to work around an adult's work schedule in order to get deliveries accomplished because they're 7 years old and they can't drive. And maybe it's too far to carry a wagon or to walk, or maybe they just don't have that adult supervision, because that is necessary for a lot of the girls to complete their orders. And then we do follow up with these customers once we've reached out to the caregivers and the troop leaders. Even if we don't get a response back from the troop leader or caregiver, we'll still reach back out to the customer and just say, hey, I know it's been about a week. Did you ever get your cookie order back? And, if they still say, no, I'm still waiting on it, like I heard from the parent, or I didn't hear anything at all, sometimes we will step in and we will help and negotiate a delivery for them. Additionally, customers do view all Girl Scouts as the same person. They don't, unless they were a Girl Scout, or unless they have been experienced with a girl who is in Girl Scouts, they don't know that there are different troops. They don't know that there are different service units. They don't know that the girl that they see at Walmart is from a completely different troop, or maybe a completely different town than the girl who is across the street at Albertsons. They don't know these things because it's not something that they have intimate knowledge of. So they view all Girl Scouts as one unit of Girl Scout. So if one Girl Scout has poor customer service to a customer, that reflects poor customer service on all Girl Scouts. So the way you treat your customers reflects on all of your sister Scouts. They also treat the Girl Scout product programs the same way they would treat any other business. So this means if you don't set that clear delivery expectation right at the beginning when they're placing that order, they're going to assume that the delivery is going to come sooner. Most of the time, they're waiting maybe 2 weeks for a delivery. And if they're ordering again on January 10th, and you're not getting cookies until February 20th, now they're waiting almost 4 or 6 weeks to get their cookies, and they don't understand that they're not available 2 weeks after they place their order. So that clear definition of delivery is very important. Additionally, like I said, Amazon delivers fast, but customers are also becoming more accustomed to businesses in general delivering things faster. And unless they've experienced deliveries from Temu, which have to usually come from overseas and go through customs and take a little bit longer. They're used to a week, maybe 2 weeks at the most on getting any of their deliveries or any of their orders that they've placed in a different business. Depending on when your customer is placing an order, you might have to provide different customer service. So if they are pre-ordering, so if they're ordering any fall product items for girl delivery or any cookie orders placed in January or early February, you want to make sure you set that expectation that ordering the product now, the product is coming in at a later date. And give them an around date for delivery. Say maybe like, oh, fall product to be delivered around Thanksgiving time, or for, cookies, it'll be done after President's Day. That's when I get the cookies, so I'm delivering them after that. You should have them before the beginning of March. So just setting that precedent and just reminding them that, hey, I have to wait for the product to show up, and then I have to deliver it to you. Also for cookies, remember that cookie booths start the weekend after cookies get delivered usually. So this could affect the amount of time that you have available to make your deliveries. So then for the girl delivered online orders, both the fall product and the cookie system will give your customer an estimated date of delivery. That estimated date is based on when the system says the first deliveries are being made to the service units for your product to even get into the area. So if that is November 6th, it will give a buffer of about 7-ish days and say, okay, well, if, product isn't getting delivered until November 6th, in our email, we're going to say it's going to be estimated to be delivered around November 13th. So they give you a little bit of buffer between those deliveries arriving or when they're scheduled to arrive and the actual date that you can come out and deliver them. The cookie system does the same thing. So if it says, okay, cookies aren't being delivered until January or February 20th, your deliveries may not start happening until February 27th. For the on-hand orders, so these are just for cookies, and this is anytime after that President's Day weekend. Unless you need to get more cookies or a different variety from your cookie manager, these should be delivered at the time of that they're ordered, because they should be cookies you're handing to your customer. For these transactions, do make sure that if they are paying with a digital payment, that you get a transaction complete screen, whether you're using digital cookie or if you have an alternate method that your troop uses. Make sure that you see that transaction complete before handing over their order. Just because sometimes you do have to click an extra checkbox or something like that, or they have to check an extra box on their end in order for that transaction to complete. I know I have been one of those people that I will Venmo somebody and then I forget to hit the last OK button, and then suddenly they're like, wait, did you actually send that? Oh, let me try that again. So that's also a me problem, I guess. And then for customer service, when it comes to a direct ship product, so this also is your fall product. This is also your cookies. Direct ship orders typically arrive in about 10 to 14 business days from the date the order is placed. Shipping information is provided by either the fall product vendors or the cookie vendors. And then any issues that your customers have with a direct ship order, whether they received the wrong variety, maybe they ordered the peanut butter sandwiches and they got the peanut butter patties, or if shipping was delayed or their box came crushed, or whatever issues they might have with those direct ship orders, they need to communicate that directly with M2 or with Digital Cookie. We at Silver Sage Council, we can't, there's nothing we can do about a direct ship order. Most of the time, only thing we can even see about them is that they shipped. Like, we don't have a shipping number or anything like that. We can just see that the order was placed, the order was shipped. All of that goes through the other vendors. Right. Kim, you want to take it over with the deliveries?
Absolutely. So you can see here some girls heading up to a house with a cookie cart. Do consider a cookie cart. Those are so helpful for deliveries. You want to make sure for the girls that they are making a delivery plan with their caregiver. So that could be a parent, another family member, or another trusted adult. Um, Again, communicating with the customers if deliveries are taking longer. Typically, you'll have the order card with you if these are paper orders that you're talking about. And the other thing we wanted to make sure is that you're not promising a tomorrow delivery date or a specific day early on. And because we want to use things like later this week or by this time next week. And what you want to do is make sure that when you have this expectation that you've set, it's much better to deliver early or on time than to apologize and have it happen late. And one of the things you want to keep in mind too is that things come up. People feel sick. Something comes up at work. There's kids don't always tell you that there's oh, surprise, there's an orchestra concert tomorrow. So just make sure that you have built in enough time for yourself. And this isn't an appointment that you need to keep with the customer. If everyone is collecting funds at the time the order is placed, like you should be, then it's easy to deliver to the customer by leaving it on their porch. You don't have to necessarily connect with the customer. Clearly knock on the door and see if they're there. But if not, it's easy to just leave it on the porch. Timely deliveries are important. They result in repeat customers, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But it also creates positive impressions of Girl Scouts. And as Kim stated before, people think of Girl Scouts, not Lisa, the girl who took my order yesterday, and not even Girl Scouts of Silver Sage, right? They think of Girl Scouts as this one big entity, and we're all Girl Scouts. So please make sure that you are reflecting positively upon your girl, the troop, the council, and the movement in general. And I can speak to the next slide too. Great. Okay, so this is about providing high quality customer service. And these are not always things that come to mind initially. These are some extras that we think really improve the experience for your customers. Things with arrows. And I see now that there are several arrows. There were only one or two, and then as we were building the slide, there were more arrows. But these are things that need to be planned ahead of time. For example, you don't want to ask if a customer would like a bag if you didn't bring bags. So do take a look at some of these and make sure you're prepared. So make sure you're asking customers, would you like a bag? Would you like the opportunity to donate a box of cookies to support veterans? For me, if I had gotten home after a cookie booth, I bought my cookies, I get home and I somehow either read about Operation Cookie or hear about it in the news, and nobody gave me a chance to donate to support the veterans, I would personally be upset because my dad's a veteran. My uncles and granduncles and all kinds of folks in my family and other friends and people we respect have all are all veterans. And if I wasn't given the opportunity, I truly would be upset about that. Similarly, have you heard about our new cookie? If it's in a box, just on your booth table with all the other cookies, I might not notice, oh, hey, there's a new color, or hey, there's a new cookie. But again, 2 weeks down the road, I hear from my friend, oh my God, did you taste the new one? It's awesome. Well, I didn't feel like I got a chance because nobody asked me if I'd heard about the new cookie or if I'd tried the new cookie. Similarly, customers have the opportunity to win 5 cases of cookies. That's quite a prize. But if I didn't know about it, if a girl didn't say, oh, if you buy 1 or 2 more boxes, you could be eligible to win 5 cases of cookies. Would you like to be eligible? So it sometimes seems like upselling some of these items, but it really is high quality customer service, making sure that the customer has the opportunity. Remember the platinum rule. Ask them how they would like to participate in the cookie program, how they would like to support your girl. Similarly, in improving their experience, make sure that the customer knows how to get in touch with you or your girl, because of course they're going to want more cookies. So that you'll need to plan ahead to have, if you want to make up little slips or little cards or whatever contact information, you're willing to share. Maybe it's the girls' QR code. Maybe it's an email address, but you're not wanting to do the phone number, whatever it is that you're comfortable with. But make sure that they can get back in touch with you to get more cookies if they need some. Thank everyone. That's eye contact, a smile. Even if they say no, thank you for your time. Thanks anyway. Whatever. Make sure that they still leave with a positive impression of Girl Scouts. Similarly, you will probably be asked questions at the cookie booth. Some of them are easy and they're usually addressed to the girl. Oh, what are you earning money towards? Are you going to summer camp? What is your troop doing? And those are easy, but some you should really prepare for are, does this have peanuts in it? Does this have dairy in it? And so something that you can do is print out from the ABC website is the allergens guide. I would absolutely print one out and have it at every booth. People may ask how to join Girl Scouts. Every girl deserves to be invited to join Girl Scouts. So make sure you know how a girl could join Girl Scouts. Again, that could be a QR code. That could just be go to the Girl Scouts website. And then you'll also want to make sure you have our website address somewhere. It doesn't necessarily need to be visible in your booth, but as people ask questions, and we're going to talk about answering questions in a bit, but as people ask questions, you'll want to make sure, if you're not absolutely certain what the answer is, have them go to our website or the nationwide Girl Scouts website so that they can search and have their questions answered either by finding the answer or finding the contact us area so they can contact us and we can answer the question for them. Okay, so as far as answering questions, for the girls, we want them to answer to the best of their ability. If they are able to answer the question, again, sometimes it's going to be, what's your favorite cookie? What does this new cookie taste like? Things like that. Those are pretty easy. But then there are also some questions that may have content that's adult, and so we'll need an adult's information, or if a girl doesn't know the answer, she can ask the adult at the cookie booth. Remember, it's important that all cookie booths have two registered adults, registered and non-related adults if it's a troop cookie booth, and at least one adult if it is a what we call a mom and me booth or a grown-up and me booth. So we do encourage them to ask an adult. And also don't be afraid to say, I don't know. Sometimes answers may take research. It's okay to give the customer a web address or say, you know what, sir, I don't know the answer to that question. And I would suggest that you check out the Girl Scout website to get that answer. So there are plenty of resources and it is okay to guide a customer toward those resources. And we hope that you will do that. Okay, speaking of questions, we always are available to answer your question, even if the phone is not operated. I was going to say manned, but this is the wrong venue for that. But if our phone is not answered immediately, there are ways you absolutely welcome to leave a voicemail message. You can also email customer care 24 hours a day. There are several of us who check that. Of course, our office hours are typically Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5, with a little break for lunch. But we also have individuals able to check that email address. One thing I want to share, it's always easiest to get in touch with a Kim or whoever the right individual is by contacting customer care. It's not just one individual's email address or email account. So for example, if it goes into the cookie bucket, if you will, or the entrepreneurship bucket, Kim or I could check it, or other individuals, if Kim or I are traveling to a cookie convention or something, there are other individuals in the office who can address the question. And I also will share, it's 1,000% easier for us if you have a couple of questions. Maybe one is a camp question and one is a cookie question and another one is about a patch that you earned by going to Girl Scouts Love State Parks Week. If you would send those in 3 separate emails, that way we could divvy them up to the right person. That makes it 1,000 times easier, and I promise you will get quicker answers. You probably will get all 3 of them answered at the same time you would have otherwise, but it's 1,000 times easier for us to get you those separate answers from the individual subject matter experts, and those may be asynchronous. So yes, separate emails are terrific. We love that. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have loved presenting this customer care cookie bite to you. Again, if you have questions, we absolutely welcome you to send those in, and it's probable that other individuals have those questions too. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.